Hello, everybody. My name is Tad Jensen, for those of you who don't know me. Just to respond to prompt number one, I wanted to tell everyone a little bit about my interests outside of nursing. So outside of nursing, I really like to play sports for physical activity, basketball, football, things like that. I really enjoy the outdoors, so fishing, hiking, everything like that. Especially when I go home, we live in a pretty rural community, and there's a lot of opportunities to just get outside and enjoy nature, and especially just go for walks. That's kind of my favorite thing to do outside. And then I also recently have uh, really gotten into cooking, especially experimenting with new foods. So that's kind of been one of my passions that I found, especially over the summer. I recently moved out from my parents' home and have been living here in Columbus in an apartment for about a year now, and just recently kind of started cooking for myself and kind of making that a hobby of mine. So that's been really fun. As far as within nursing goes, I'm interested in a wide variety of specialties and patient populations. So I don't really know where I want to end up quite yet, but I'm just kind of keeping my options open right now, taking in all the experience that I can get and kind of finding my way that way through experience and what I think I'll like that way. But um, haven't really found anything yet, just kind of keeping my options open at this point. Um, this summer, actually, I got to dive in a little bit deeper to my honors research project, which is focused on self efficacy for exercise in renal transplant patients. And that's been good for me this summer to kind of get a better direction of where that's going. And I like the direction that it's going so far. I haven't written a ton of it yet. At this point, I've written my introduction and have kind of been waiting on further information to go from there. But it's been nice to kind of get started on that. Also, this summer, I started a job as a PCA at OSU's Brain and Spine Hospital, and have really enjoyed that this summer. Like I said earlier, I'm still open to so many options as far as what I'm going to do after nursing school, but I've really liked the neuro patient population, so that has been very interesting this summer. Um, as far as how that relates to this class, I it was kind of a big change for me. My last healthcare job, I worked in a nursing home in my rural hometown, and culturally, most of the patients there shared the same culture as I did. And it's been very interesting to see all the different cultures that I've been exposed to while working at the Brain and Spine Hospital as a PCA. And it's been a great learning opportunity from me just being able to interact with those patients and learn that way how to best interact with a very culturally diverse population. So that's been good for me, and I'm excited for this class because of that reason. I just like to be able to better care for a wider range of patients as far as their culture goes, and be able to better holistically care for them because of that. Um, and the second prompt that I'm going to respond to is number three, specifically the part about how the lecture applied to me personally. Um, so I found the part of lecture that focused on the differences of culture and how that relates to food, and how that can affect people's health. I say that this applies to me personally because when I think about my culture and the foods that we ate and still do, um, is I didn't really know dinner without dessert. So, and it was kind of growing up normal to hear a lot of people in my family say that diabetes ran in our family, which I didn't know at the time, but now that I'm a little bit more well versed in healthcare, I realize that it didn't exactly really run in my family per se, but more that it was a factor of the foods that we were eating and how much sugar we were taking in. So a lot of people in my family and just from my uh, culture in general have, as they've gotten into their later years, have developed diabetes, and that was why that part of the lecture kind of really related to me because it is ingrained in our culture that dessert is kind of a normal part of dinner, and some of you may be able to relate to that, and then others that might be very foreign to you. So I thought that that was pretty interesting just to kind of see that, and again that it did relate to me in that way. And I'm also interested to maybe hear from some other people about their culture and how that relates to food and how that has affected the health of people also living in that culture. Let me just make sure real quick I didn't have anything else I want to say here. And I don't think so. Yeah, again, if any of you would like to share how, you know, your culture differences in food from mine, and then how that's affected health in your culture, would be very interesting to me. And also, just any other responses would be very much welcomed. Thank you guys for listening.